Tra le nuvole e il mare passano i sogni di tutti, passa il sole ogni giorno senza mai tardare. Dove sarò domani? Dove sarò? Tra le nuvole e il mare c'è una stazione di posta, uno straccio di stella messa lì a consolare sul sentiero infinito delle maestrale. But day by day, save me, Shamani, Shamani.
Nelle profondità dello spazio, su di un piccolo pianeta del sistema solare chiamato Terra, in una porzione di continente chiamato Stati Uniti d'America, il 4 novembre dell'anno 2008 è accaduta una cosa mai successa in precedenza nell'universo. Un uomo di colore, di nome Barak Obama, figlio di una bianca e di un nero, cresciuto dai nonni molto lontano dai centri di potere, è stato eletto 44esimo Presidente degli Stati Uniti.
What began 21 months ago in the depths of winter cannot end on this autumn night.
Cosa è successo prima di quel giorno? Perché a guidare il più potente Stato tra gli Stati della Terra, dopo il texano del Connecticut George Bush, arriva un marziano di nome Obama? Per saperlo dovremo riavvolgere il nastro e tornare ad almeno una settimana prima, entrare con le nostre telecamere alla Cornell University di New York e chiedere a loro, ai cittadini d'America che ad Obama hanno dato il voto, come e perché questa cosa è accaduta. Per saperlo dovremo guardare un paese di sinistra. Un paese di sinistra. Un eccezionale documentario di Eric Scaltriti, montato a tempo record per l'anteprima assoluta nel Viaggio di Sara a Telereggio. Un film che ci farà piangere di invidia e fremere di speranza. La speranza che anche qui, da noi, in un lontano futuro, qualcosa di simile possa accadere. Questo che avete visto e sentito potrebbe essere il pomposo trailer per la diffusione nelle sale cinematografiche. Quello che vedrete ora è invece il documentario vero e proprio, un paese di sinistra, che di pomposo non ha nulla, ma che davvero ci può aiutare a capire e a sognare. Capire cosa è successo là oltreoceano e sognare che possa succedere anche da noi. Che anche da noi la gente alzi la testa e dica: è tempo di cambiare. Buona visione.
Toss-up states are all still toss-up. Many of them are still voting at this hour. And all the names, except Pennsylvania on both sides, are still leaders that they now want to decide to do.
America as a place where all things are possible. What began 21 months ago in the depths of winter cannot end on this autumn night. This victory alone is not the change we seek. It is only the chance for us to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back to the way things were. It can't happen without you, without a new spirit of service, a new spirit of sacrifice. So let us summon a new spirit.
Because I think that for the last 8 years, this country has been going in completely the wrong direction in a way that's damaging not only regarding our relations with foreign countries, not only foreign policy, but also domestically. We have a horrible deficit, we're in a recession, the economy is terrible, and we're risking at this point also to lose a lot of our civil rights are at risk, I think. So it's an important election.
It's not an ideal world where one can see the sharp, sort of say that they're all the same. It's all part of the American two-party system, which is, you know, has advantages of efficiency, unlike the parliamentary system, but ideologically it tends to make everyone seem the same, certainly from a global perspective.
The first time we elected Bush, it was controversial, you know, there could have been a question of doubt, but the second time, you know, my people made the same mistake again, and I have friends from all over the world, and my first thought, honestly, when I was watching the news is, my God, what must they be thinking about us right now? And I felt like at least I was able to present a different point of view and not make the impression that people must have of people from the United States as so flat, you know. It's kind of a wake-up call. You know, what happens when you just let people not, you know, do whatever they want and not be regulated in the name of the free market. You know, it's not a good mix. They're not going to police themselves. They're going to, you know, try and trick each other and like make as much money as possible. So yeah.
Per me Obama è un simbolo della speranza, perché dobbiamo cambiare l'immagine degli Stati Uniti negli occhi del mondo. Sono tanto delusa con il governo degli Stati Uniti per 6-7 anni.
I'm very pessimistic, but it could be, you know, one of those classic lesser of two evils, and in that case, Obama might do less damage. That's what I'd like to say.
And one of the main tactics of the McCain campaign has been to call Obama a socialist because he wants to give tax benefits to the poor and oblige the rich to pay more. And everyone says socialist, socialist, socialist. And I think this is a particularly American phenomenon where a lot of people don't understand, first of all, that the principle of income tax is socialist and that it's not an evil thing, that it's necessary.
I feel incredible, angry, like everybody. I think banks should act, the function that banks perform should be socialized. There should not be a private banking sector. That is a right, the right of credit. It should be owned by everybody. We should all be able to demand credit. That is, if I need money, I should be able to go get money. I know it sounds utopian, but it's not. Sound pretty crazy? Okay.
I think they should work on their foreign policy, because right now they're in Iraq and like the war is very convoluted, and right now people really have mixed feelings about the war. They want to get out, but they want to stay. So I think they should work on their foreign policy a lot.
Pakistan, Afghanistan, veramente non so, è totalmente caotico, penso. Io non so che cosa pensare, ma sarà molto difficile per il nuovo presidente, è evidente.
Obama is at least willing to attempt to have open up diplomatic relations, which is probably a much saner, more intelligent thing to do. But I don't know if I trust what they're saying publicly, you know.
I would hope that the soldiers in Iraq will immediately be returned home, and I think that the economic crisis needs to be addressed in a way that it isn't being addressed right now, and I think that'll be definitely one of the more important things that the new president does, is to address the economic crisis.
So much to say, so much to say, so much to say, so much to say.
Ma per me è una sorpresa come l'economia del mondo è caduto nell'ultimo mese. È incredibile.
I just want to differ there with what's called normally American exceptionalism. That is, we're the exceptional country on the planet that has to lead all you little lost sheep out there who don't know what you want to do, you know? Well, I've traveled in the world, and I think you have some idea of what you want to do. That's all. That's all.
I definitely think that the president should deal with some of our economic problems. I don't think sort of continually bailing out Wall Street is a good idea.
Bush? Bush. Non avevamo paura che lui sia un socialista, no? Dunque è molto interessante e quasi ironico.
Well, this is the question, isn't it? Yeah. You know. I mean, some people are arguing that China is a form of state capitalism, for example. But the U.S. is in debt. I mean, the war is being funded by loans from foreign countries. Right. So that the foreign countries have enormous say, at least implicitly, on American politics and the decisions that both presidents are going to take because of this massive debt to other countries.
I honestly am embarrassingly uninformed on the origins of the crisis, and therefore, like, can't really formulate a solution. But I think that this idea that the market will correct itself and that you know, no intervention is some sort of solution is ridiculous and absurd. I don't know if I can really see the impact of the new presidency on my life in the way that someone who works in this restaurant, for example, will see the impact.
Sarah Palin is very vocally anti-abortion. John McCain, though he was pro-choice before he began running for president, has now become pro-life. So I'm very concerned about women's health, not just abortion though, but insurance companies, which many of them have stopped covering birth control, which for me is a very important thing. And there was just a study released today that showed that women pay a huge percentage more for insurance and health care than men do.
I think their health care system, so I think they should just equalize and find some way so that everyone can get the best access to healthcare as possible.
Non funziona qui, è molto molto meglio in altri paesi. Ci sono modelli che potremmo seguire, ma non l'abbiamo fatto.
Because a vote for McCain in this election is a vote against one's own interests. For 98% of the country, a vote for McCain means higher taxes, sons shipped off to war. It means horrible things for the American people, and if we still vote again after 2 elections in which we have voted against our own interests, we're in very serious trouble.
Trovare un modo di tirarci dall'Iraq io credo è molto importante, perché non faccio niente di utile lì. Era un disastro di andarci, ma ora siamo lì, le cose sono diverse e dobbiamo fare qualcosa e speriamo di lasciare il paese in una posizione tollerabile.
The environment a little more, because I know that in my hometown they got rid of the recycling because it's too expensive to keep up, and so I think that we need to do something to reverse the negative effects on the environment.
Maybe just some sort of reinvigoration of government-sponsored arts and culture. I think that it's taken a back seat in ways it shouldn't have. And
work in domestic policies, I guess, because there are some areas I know in the States that are like very poor, and they should just reach out to those low-income families and try to just help them out. And yeah.
What do you think
is the cost of an education for college? Because obviously we're at an Ivy League school here, and it's very expensive. And I mean, of course, there are scholarships, but for an average family, it's getting hard to fund their child's education, higher education.
Like my own grandmother thinks he's a Muslim. I argue with her all the time about it. But here's a woman who's a New Deal Democrat, has always voted. I was really shocked to learn that she was not going to vote for Obama, just because she looks at him and she doesn't identify with him, and it's just that simple, and she believes that he doesn't represent her just because of race or identity politics or something like that. So that kind of saddened me a little bit, but
the problem is that there's a kind of cynicism too, and maybe this is an element of an event where there's a lot, the enormous cynicism of politics, where the politician can't really promise to make things better than the opponent, but just will say, I won't make them worse. That's the way I think a lot of people think. But the Obama event, if it's that, would seem to be breaking out of that cynicism.
Mark, I just wanted to let you know the conclusion of the story about my grandmother's vote. In the end, she decided we couldn't put up with 4 more years of Republicans, and that change is what we all needed, so I'm really proud of her. Hope all is well with you. Ciao.
Tra le nuvole e il mare passano i sogni di tutti, passa il sole ogni giorno senza mai tardare. Dove sarò domani? Dove sarò. Tra le nuvole e il mare c'è una stazione di posta, uno straccio di stella messa lì a consolare sul sentiero infinito del mare.